All right, let's take a look at using a zero to find the remaining zeros with synthetic division. Okay, so with synthetic division, we're given that there's a zero of multiplicity 2. Okay, and x equals negative 1/2 is the zero. So we're going to set up synthetic division with 4x to the fourth, negative 20x cubed, negative 51x squared, negative 34x, and minus 7. Okay, move that up a little bit. There we go. And then the 0 is negative 1/2. That's exactly the number we put into the synthetic division. If they give us the factored form, that's where we swap. So if they had given us this, if they'd said this is a factor, or this is a factor, then we would use the negative 1/2 0. Okay, so we bring the 4 down, we multiply, that's negative 2. And then we add these together, negative 22. And then we multiply by the negative 1/2, that's 11. And then we add these together, that's negative 40. Then we multiply, that's 20. And we add these together, that's negative 14. Then we multiply, that's 7. And sure enough, 7 minus 7 is 0. So we verified that that in fact is a 0. But we're not done yet. They tell us the multiplicity of 2. So we can factor out, we can divide out another negative 1/2. So we bring this, now don't look at this top stuff. It's done. These new line, use the new line, we bring the 4 down. Negative 1/2 times 4 is negative 2. And we add these together. That's negative 24. Negative 1/2 times negative 24 is 12. And we add together, that's negative 28. Negative 1/2 of negative 28 is 14. Negative 14 plus 14 is 0. All right, so we got this to be a 0 a second time. That verifies the fact that the 0 was multiplicity 2. So they gave us true information. We use that information to pull out the negative 1/2, well, not once, but twice. And what's remaining, now keep in mind this was originally represented a 4x to the fourth plus da 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 da. When we factored out the minus 1/2, this now represents a 4x cubed da 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 da. And now this represents a 4x squared with stuff. So we have whittled this down to a 4x squared. This is great. That means that we can use other tools. 4x squared minus 24x minus 28 equals 0. If we divide by 4, we can reduce this to x squared minus 6x minus 7 equals 0. And this actually factors, although we have the quadratic formula to work out the difficult zeros, complex zeros, irrational zeros, whatever we have. This one ended up pretty nice. X equals 7 and negative 1. Okay, so for the instructions, find the remaining real zeros. So remaining zeros are 7 and negative 1. You don't even have to have the x equals, and you could put set brackets, all sorts of things. But the remaining zeros are 7, negative 1. They said use fractions, not decimals. Separate the remaining zeros with a comma. Okay, great. And these are whole numbers, which are a form of fraction. You don't have to write the over 1, but that's essentially the use fractions, not decimals. Okay. And then it also said, then factor the polynomial completely. So we want to have the polynomial, it is f of x, factored completely. We factored out the x plus 1/2 factor twice by dividing by negative 1/2 twice, and we were left with the x minus 7 and the x plus 1. So there's the factored form. There are the remaining zeros. And I hope this helps.